This is the question, apartments. I hope you read the question. I'll just simply explain the input. You're given a three integers, which is n, m, and k. N is the number of applicants, and m is the number of apartments, and k is the range. Like if I'm saying k is 5, then if the applicant required size is 60, then the applicant can accept any apartment size that is between 55 and 65. How? That is 60 minus 5 and 60 plus 5. Like coming to this applicant, he can accept any apartment size which is from 45 minus 5 and 45 plus 5, that is from 40 to 50. So so this is the question, right? So we need to distribute these apartments to the maximum number of applicants, right? Now let us understand this sample test case, like how we can solve this, right? Basically I have taken this two arrays, and first of all sort these two given numbers, and our k is 5, right? K is 5. Now just take two pointers, pointer p1 which is pointing to number of applicants, and take a pointer p2 which is pointing to the apartments, right? Now if you can see, our p1 value is 45. That means we can accept any apartment size from the range 40 to 50, right? From any range from 40 to 50, because either it could be a plus k or a minus k, right? Here our k is 5. Now I'm checking here, I have found an apartment size of 30. I found an apartment size of 30. That means it is a way lesser than, or lower, lesser than the minimum value, right? Here the minimum range is starting from 40. So here we are finding a number which is 30. So that means here I have sorted this array, right? Here I have sorted this array. That means, can I say I can find any value that will be greater to my right, right? See, if I can move my pointer to the right, there exists some possibility that I can find in this range, right? I can find in this range because the values are keep on increasing, right? So what I'll do here, since it is lesser than here, since it is here my p1 of something, here my p1 is less than here my pointer p2, right? Here my pointer p2 is less than my p1 minus k. I'm just incrementing my pointer p2, right? Now I'll again try to check this pointer p2 with p1. Now what it is, like here our pointer p1 accepts from range 40 to 50, but here our p2 value is greater than 60, is greater than 50, right? So since this array is sorted, can I say there exists no possibility to my right which can I find in this range, because it is already exceeding my maximum limit, and moving to my right will just increase my value. It doesn't decrease, right? So can I say I cannot find any value corresponding to this p1. So in that case, what I'll do, I'll just increment my pointer p1, right? I'll increase my pointer p1. Now what I have done, if my p2 is greater than my p1 plus k, I have incremented my pointer 1, right? I have incremented my pointer 1. Now I'll check. Here our p1 is 60. That means it can accept from 55 to 65, right? Here it can accept from 55 to 65, and you can check this value, p2 value is between that. P2 value is 60, right? So can I say it is one of my answer? It is one of my answer. So in that case, I just increment my count. I just increment my count of applicants who got the desired apartment, right? So I'll just increment that. So that means if these both two conditions are not satisfying, can I say it does lie in these ranges? It does lie between in these two ranges. So in such cases, I'm incrementing my count, and I'll just increment both the pointers. Which is p1 and p2. Yeah, here. What I'll try to do is I'll just increment both the pointers. Here now my p1 will be pointing here, and my pointer p2 will be pointing over here. Now again check. Here our p1 is 60, so we can check from 55 to 65, right? We need to check from 55 to 65, but the value is 75, which is exceeding our maximum limit. In such cases, what we have done, see here, if our p2 is greater than our p1 plus k, we need to do directly pointer 1 plus plus, right? So yeah, that's what we will be doing over here. Now I'll just increment my pointer p1, and I'll point over here, and now I'll again check for this. Now since it is an 80, now we need to check from 75 to 85, right? It will accept any integer in this range. Now you can see p2 is lying here, right? P2 is 75, so it does lies in that range. So what we will be doing, we will be again incrementing this count, and we will increment both the pointers simultaneously. Which will be our end of the array, right? Which will be leading to the end of the array. So this will be our answer, right? So basically you need to observe these three conditions. Just make a point of P1 pointing to the number of applicants, and point of P2 which is pointing to the apartment sizes, and check these three conditions. If your point of P2 is lesser than P1 minus K, then there exists some possibility in my right if I can increase to my right. And if it is exceeding the maximum limit, and I can say, since this array is sorted, I cannot find any value to my right which will be lesser than my P1 plus K, right? So in such cases, you'll increment the point of P1. And if both these conditions are not satisfying, that means it will be in this range, right? It will be in the middle of this range. So that's why we will take it as our answer, and we will increment both the pointers. So that's how it is. So let us just quickly get into the coding part. So yeah, so first of all, he will be giving n, m, and k. Now he will be giving applicants and this apartment sizes, right? So I will be taking applicants. I'll be taking this n applicants, and there are apartment sizes as well, right? So after taking this applicants and apartments, I've just taken whole input. Now what we'll be doing, first of all, you need to sort this. Sort this first of all. So this is our index, and similarly sort the apartments also. So after sorting this, you just take a point of P1, which will be pointing to your applicants array, and take a point of P2, which will be pointing to the apartments, right? And now while your P1 is less than n, because it will be pointing to the applicants, right? And your P2 is apartments, and the size of the apartments is m, right? It should not exceed this both sizes. Now what we will be doing, if our applicants of P1, if our apartments of P2, right? Here I'll be taking these three cases. Here are apartments of P2 is less than our applicants of P1 minus K, and we'll just simply increment the pointer 2, right? Pointer 2. Else if our apartments of P2 is exceeding our maximum limit, which is applicants of P1 plus K, then I can say there exists no solution for this applicant P1, so I just increment the point P1. If these are not the cases for these two, then I can say there exists some apartment of P2 in this range, which is applicants of P1 minus K and applicants of P1 plus K. It exists in the middle of the range. So I just take some count, and I'll increment my count, and I'll increment both the pointers. And after this, I'll just simply print the count. This will be our maximum count, I can say. Yeah, so yeah, this will be our count. Yeah, that is 2. Now just quickly submit this off. Yeah, you can see it does run fine. So yeah, that's what it is. If I need you to conclude again, yeah, I'll just quickly show you how this is working again. I just want you to explain these three cases, because these are the fundamental of this question. Here, see here, when you're pointing to these two, here I can accept for 45, I can accept from range 40 to 50, right? If it is, see here, we can accept from 40 to 50. If the range is lying between over here, right? Here our 30 is lying over here. That means we need to increment our 30 to our right, so that we can find any value. We can find any value 40 to 50, because this array is sorted, right? This keeps on increasing. So here it is, since it is lesser than our lower limit, we'll try to increment our point of P2, so that there exists some possibility such that the next value will come into this range, right? So that's what we are trying to do. So for such case, we have incremented that point of P2. Now see here, after incrementing your point of P2, for this value, we need to check from 40 to 50, right? Here the 60 has came over here, it is exceeding the maximum limit. It is exceeding the maximum limit. So since the array is sorted, can I say there exists no integer in my right where I can find an integer between these ranges? So what it is indicating? It is indicating there exists no solution for this range. So in such cases, we'll just try to increment this applicant, right? We'll just go for the next applicant because we cannot find because once it is exceeding the maximum limit, since the array is keep on increasing, so we can definitely say there exists no solution, right? So that's why we are incrementing p1 plus plus. Just take these ranges, and if it is lesser than our lower limit, we'll just try to see the range between. We'll just try to increment and check in this range. If it is greater than our upper limit, then there exists no solution. Then that's where we will increment our applicant pointer, right? So if these both are not the cases, then can I say it will definitely lie in this range. So then we will count that as a solution, and we will increment both the pointers simultaneously. So yeah, so that's what it is. And if you still have any doubts, just comment me down. I'll be happy to reply you.